if you're down there and things go awry, you're on your own. Systems go, are we?
Yeah.
I think so. I think this looks like it. So, bit of a different video today. I don't know if the setup looks alright. Trying something a little different, but point of this is basically to say me and Julia, we're going to the deep south. Deep south of Thailand probably doesn't sound that scary to most people, and you know, everyone's been to Thailand, really nice, great islands, beautiful people, smiling, everything, good vibes, beaches, it's got the lot. But what a lot of people don't know about Thailand is in the south, and I mean the south, I don't mean Phuket and you know the islands, the lovely little islands, I mean the deep south. And in the deep south there's a conflict between separatists and the Thai government, and this has been an ongoing issue since around 2004. In fact, it stretches back into the 1950s. It has affected people living in the area for years, and you know, this is through attacks like daily bombings, attacks on police checkpoints. You know, a lot of it is aimed at the police and the authority figures. But you know, since around 2004, around 7,000 people have died in the region. But when you think of it and actually look at the figures and read some of the articles and say that, you know, 90% of them have been civilians, you know, it starts to kind of dawn on you. And I'm not being funny, but you know, these three provinces are technically kind of no-go zones for tourists. You know, the American government, you know, ban all their citizens from ever entering the area. You know, your insurance becomes invalid if you enter the area. Things like SIM cards stop working because of, you know, threats that in the past have been using mobile phones and SIM cards, so they have to be registered. Unless it's registered, it's not going to work. You know, all of these things in these three provinces, which is Pattani, Narathiwat and Yala. And it also spills into the region of Songkhla as well. Three regions in the south are generally a Muslim majority, which means I think it's around 80% or 80%. Well, the thing is we went to Malaysia last year and we lived, you know, for around 6 months, and we found the Muslim communities to be some of the friendliest. And in southern Thailand, we expected to see that, but the thing is, the truth is you didn't get that unless you go really south. So kind of here we are, and we wanted to really encapsulate that. And it wasn't until we got here we realised how bad this actual conflict was. I knew about the conflict, but I didn't realise this many people had died. You know, once you start reading into it, you start to realise how dangerous this area is. You know, as I said, 77,000 people have been killed. Only 2 weeks ago was a family in a pickup truck. I think it was a father and two kids. Set upon by two sets of motorcyclists, and the passengers on the back of the motorcyclists carrying M16s, and basically launched an attack on this truck. And to make matters worse, as the truck span out of control, they basically doused it in fire and basically set them alight. You read all about this in the articles, and it's a pretty scary prospect, I'm not going to lie. You know, and you think it's worlds apart from Thailand in that sense. You know, it's not something you'd ever expect from Thailand. But look, the point of this is just a quick video, just basically say we're going to the deep south, and I'm not going to lie, I'm very nervous. You know, you don't know what to expect going into one of these regions. You know, the place we're going to is a region called Yala. It's a landlocked region. It's one of two. The only other landlocked region in the south is Pattani. The reason we're going as well is because tourists aren't necessarily targeted, but my belief is that, you know, these kind of regions aren't that bad. And remember, we are in Thailand and we aren't in, you know, Beirut or Baghdad. You know, it's completely different. And if you just type in Google Yala or Pattani or Narathiwat, one of the first things that comes up is people have been beheaded in this region down there. I don't know what the hell we're going to be going into. I've heard there's loads of checkpoints. I wonder if my SIM card's going to be still working. I wonder what the kind of general vibe is down there. They don't get tourists down there, so are people going to be friendly? What's going to be the situation down there? To be honest with you, prospect. I read online. I spoke to a few people online, and whatnot. Someone was saying, it's very lovely down in some parts. They were speaking about Pattani, that very nice region, friendliest people they've met in Thailand. But they said, if you're down there and things go awry, you're on your own. Yeah, I hope that we can see this region and share the goodness in this region, because these places, they're full of good people.
Okay, what about in Yala? Yala safe or dangerous?
I mean Yala, Pattani,
daytime safe.
In the town,
Yeah, in the town.
Yeah.
Is Yala town nice or not?
No.
No.
Muslim area.
Muslim area. Nice or?
No, nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Nothing.
In
the village.
In the village is
Not
dangerous.
in the town, in the village.
So town is fine.
Town is safe?
It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have please leave in the morning a little bit.
Leave in the morning early. Better, yeah.
Go please join the not far. No. Not far for the traveling.
Not far for the travelling, it's close, huh? Don't travel far, you mean, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, what else have I missed, Julia? Julie's not scared of going at all.
No, not really.
Julie's not nervous at all.
But I believe you shouldn't be too scared of going to a place like that, because if you decide to go, you should embrace it.
Right, she's brave.
I'm actually more nervous about people.
Yeah.
About people around us. I'm not nervous because I don't want to think anything bad would happen to us.
Yeah, I don't believe anything would, but all I can say is when you go online, you read these articles and you read the media, you only ever read about the bad stuff. You never hear about the good stuff. I spoke to someone who mentioned that they've spoken to a local and things are getting better, and in fact during this time people are more concerned about COVID than they are attacks. So if there's a good time to go, it might be now. I'm not encouraging you to go, but we're going to go have a look, going to have a little day trip down to Yala, get a vibe for things, get a feel for this. Going to try some roti canai as well, hoping that it's closer to the southern border and getting the real deal now. Anyway, look, I don't know if I'm going to post this. I'm probably all sweaty and shit. This is just like so overly humid in it. But yeah, Deep South in the next episode. We will see you very early morning for that early trip to Yala, the dangerous Deep South.